Good morning and welcome to Coffee Talk, my friends. I am Coach Roxanne and I come here every day at 7 a.m. to share my message. Good morning. It's Blur's Day. And you know what? I feel that to my core. I feel Blur's Day to my core every single week. Like, I'm all about the TGIM and the TGIF, but when we get to Wednesday and Thursday, everything is kind of a blur. So I'm all about the Blur's Day. Kim, good morning. Alyssa, good morning. Lisa, did you see the title of my video today? I tagged you. I don't know if it worked. I hope it did. Julie, good morning. Michelle, good morning. Shayna, good morning. And it is going to be like, I feel like summer is finally here. I check the 2-week forecast every morning. And I believe we are now into the 60s, creeping into the 70s, and there's no going back. Who is with me? There's no going back. Tina, good morning. Corey, good morning. I love it. Carrie, good morning. Sue, happy Blur's Day, Coach. Well, right back at you. Corey, good morning. Queen Camille, she's on. She's live. Karen, good morning. Beautiful day ahead. I know. I said to Chuck, we have got to figure out how we're going to get outside for a walk today. We have my daughter and granddaughter coming for supper. And of course, we work until Lord knows when in the afternoon. So I'm like, we have to somehow figure out a way to get outside today and enjoy some vitamin D. Deanna, good morning. I love it. Coffee was amazing. There's not much left. Somebody yesterday asked me which frother was my favorite. That's kind of a trick question because I've only ever had one frother. What I have, I love. And I was thinking I should do a video on how I make my milk froth because here I am like telling you, Tammy told me the secret of froth it cold, froth it hot. And I should show you how I do that and what I put in it just so you had a visual. Because for me, I'm all about visual. When I read things, I don't understand unless I can see something. I tell Chuck all the time, you got to give it to me in the dummy version. That is very true for me. I am visual. If I have to read it, I probably tend to overcomplicate things. Nicole, good morning. Who else do we got here? Monica, hello. Carrie, good morning. Still frozen from baseball last night. Oh, I remember those days, bringing the blankets and having to cuddle up in them. Bring on the sun today. Susan, good morning. Ditterville, good morning. Lisa, yes, she saw the tag. All right, Jody, good morning. Jenna, same girl, same. I love it. I can feel that little bit of girl tune behind there. Jill, good morning. Marsha, good morning. Jenna, my first live. I love it. It's going to be a good one, Jenna. Froth it like it's hot. Well, first you froth it like it's cold, then you froth it like it's hot.
That's Chris? No. Okay. Shout out to Hootsec because I know what she's saying. She's saying, froth it like it's hot. Froth it like it's hot. That's like a Lil Wayne song, right? Because he's like, drop it like it's hot. Drop. But no, froth it like it's hot. We're going to get mugs. I love it. Hashtag froth.
Oh my goodness. It's just look at that vein starts to pop out. Oh my goodness. All right. I guess we got to get down to business here. So if you read the title of the video, it was Congrats, Lisa. 3 years alcohol free today. So my friends, we're all here for support. I want you to throw her a little love. Yes, give Lisa some love. 3 years today, alcohol free. And I want to talk a lot about that today, Lisa. So I hope you have time to stay here as I didn't prep you for this. And I hope you have your typing thumbs ready. But Lisa, when you decided to go alcohol free, there's a couple of things I want to know. And I would try to bring you on video, but as I'm afraid it would shut me down or something, I'm afraid to do that. Michelle, good morning. When you decided to go alcohol free, what was it that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back where you were like, I have to do this? What was that moment? And when you decided to do it, was it I'm going all in and I'm never going to drink again? And is that the mentality today? Or was it the mentality of I'm going to fast from this for a certain amount of time or for however long I can? So we'll keep going, but I'm going to be looking for your answer. Woohoo! Lots of positive positives out there. Julie said, Lisa, you are my inspiration. I love that. So for those of you out there, I know a lot of you have quit something or given up something, whether it's drinking or smoking or possibly drugs. Porn is a big addiction. Maybe there's certain foods you had addictions to. A lot of you out there have given up something. How would you, and I'm gonna get real here. I want you guys to respond back to this. I want you to comment. How would you describe what it felt like in the beginning to where you are now? When you first decided you don't have to tell me what it was you were giving up, but I want to know, what did it feel like in that moment when you were deciding to give it up the first few days to where you are now? And how long has it been? Again, you don't have to tell me what it is, but how long has it been since you've given this up? What did it feel like then? And what does it feel like now? Good morning, congratulations, Lisa. I love it. Lots of congrats, Lisa. There are two different ways. So you can be typing this out, my friends. Chuck, I believe that there's been times when you've given stuff up. You could be answering this too. How would you describe what it felt like in the beginning to give that up to where you are now? It's a deep question. Deep question. You don't have to. I'm putting you on the spot. But there are two different ways to approach habits and addictions when you are looking to make the change, when you are looking to give them up. You can either go cold turkey and give them up and decide you're never going back, or you can fast from things for a certain amount of time. So Chuck and I gave up alcohol back in, was it August or September?
I can answer that, I guess.
Oh, all right. Oh, he's going to come and actually, whoa. Hold on. I got to make some room here. We got to make some room here.
All right. I don't know how long I'm going to be here for. So say the question one more time.
How would you describe what it felt like in the beginning of giving that up to where you are now?
Just anything?
Anything. Yes, you don't have to specify what it is.
Boy, I'm sure a lot of you guys have experienced this before. Well, most recently, before we went on our trip down to the Dominican, I was alcohol-free for 200 days. But that was kind of an easy one for me. Now, I didn't completely fast from sugar, but what I decided to do was track it. And what I decided to do was I would only have one serving of simple sugar per week, and I would put it on a spreadsheet. So maybe that was like we'd go to the bakery before we'd go on a walk on like a Saturday, get a scone, or we would maybe have some, a piece of, a scone, or a scone cheesecake, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever. Boy, earlier on than that, though, I would say it's interesting. It's like the first few days, you kind of get the heebie-jeebies, and it kind of feels like you have spiders crawling all over you. I know that sounds really kind of weird, but because you're so hardwired into what it is that you were doing, whether it's alcohol or sugar or any other fill in the blank, like she said, you're detoxing, you're detaching, you are separating yourself from the way that you have been doing things, the physiological response and the psychological response, right? Because sugar, alcohol, any of these things that we're addicted to, they have some kind of physiological response to them, right? And most of us, if it's an addiction, it's usually a sedation tool, right?
Right.
It gives us this false sense of feeling good. Because, you can have positive addictions. I do believe this. You can definitely have positive addictions. Like I'm addicted to reading every morning, right? But positive addictions can become negative in some regards. But yeah, I feel like it's both that mental and physical release because you've created some form of dependency upon it, and this false lift, this false sense of, it's enjoyment for the second or for the moment. Right, and then all of that is that cascade into the whole guilt and shame thing. But you're so addicted to that feeling that you kind of can't stop. So when you do stop, it feel like you get the heebie-jeebies, and there's like that 72-hour period for sure, and maybe even a week or maybe even the first month where you have to be so focused. I had to be so focused on subtraction by addition. I had to be completely focused on. I'm getting rid of this thing that doesn't serve me, but I'm finding something else to put in place of it so that I can add something positive in, so it makes the transition 10 times easier for me. And it's definitely going to be on your mind, But when you're focused on other things, it starts to drift to the back.
And you know, for me, it was just the crazy habit of having the wine glass in my hand. It was just that feeling. And when I stopped, that was the weird feeling, was not having the wine glass in my hand. It was weird. Lisa said, a few days prior, I read my report from my endocrinologist. It wasn't pretty. Then I spent Mother's Day drinking wine, and the next day I thought, what a wasted day. I didn't even enjoy it. My grandboys were a big part of it too. I want to be around for them. I love that. I love that. And that was where Lisa drew the line in the sand. So now, Lisa, my question is, do you feel like you will get to a point where you will ever let it back in? Or do you feel like that this is it? Like this, there's never going back? Julie said, and we have lots of people on here who have wins. We have 55 people on here. I want to see at least 20 some people throwing some love out to some of these great accomplishments. Julie gave up smoking cold turkey over 20 years ago. Congratulations. That is so amazing. Lori, I gave up alcohol because I didn't like myself. I didn't like who I was when I drank. Don't get me wrong. I may have a cocktail a couple times a year, but I literally can count on one hand how many I have in a year. I love that. Susan, lots of cravings when I gave up sweets, but over time those were gone and I don't miss it. When I do have a taste, those cravings come back fast. So it's best to stay away from me. I absolutely understand that. And that's where, for me, I had some alcohol on our vacation, but other than that, for me, it is when I get that taste, I don't know if I feel like I'm still in control enough to not like have one glass and not go back the next day or the next weekend. So for me, that's where I'm at with it. Tina gave up smoking cold turkey 28 years ago. Congratulations. The first few weeks I was angry. I felt deprived. It got easier as time went on, but some days, stressful days, sucked, right? Because that was how you coped. I love it. Karen, I had to give up gluten after celiac diagnosis last year. Very hard at first. I only thought about what I was missing out on. Now it's no big deal. I'm glad I can do something to keep myself healthy. Plus, I focus on all the things I still can have. A big adjustment though, for sure. Awesome. Lots of congratulations out there. Lisa, there are times the thought sneaks in. I even dream I start drinking again, but no, I cannot stop at one, so none for me. Wow, and if, we are here to support you. I love that. If you ever need us, please reach out to us. Debbie, hello, good morning.
And just remember, my friends, like physiologically speaking, a lot of these things have a dopamine release,
yes.
Right? So they're you say that methamphetamines or heroin or most addictive substance on earth. Well, sugar and alcohol and a lot of these other things trigger dopamine as well. So you're fighting the battle against something that has a highly compulsive addictive response physiologically speaking as it is. So it's not just a mental thing. You literally are fighting your body, and that's why when you say you have a little something, right? Like the second it hits your lips and your tongue and it's in your system, it is that flood, it is that rush. It's the same thing you experienced, the first day you did something or the most common response that you're used to. So yeah, if you let something back in, it's going to definitely challenge you. And that was kind of where we went when I went my 200 days without alcohol, right? Or sugar once a week. For me, it was regaining control.
Yeah.
Because I knew for myself, I'm not never going to have alcohol again, and I'm not never going to have a sweet. But I had to come to terms with the facts, and this was the main mental trigger for me was I was fooling myself into thinking I had control. It was out of control. It was 100% out of control because I actually looked at the facts of my life. Like, what had I been doing the last 30 days? If you think you have control over something, audit your last 30 days or more, 30 days, 90 days, 6 months. Take a hard look. Like if you don't think you have a spending problem, look at your bank account for the last 6 months and start looking at these discretionary expenses. Start looking at the Starbucks trip. Start looking at the Amazon purchases, right? Because if you're struggling in your finances, you're spending more than your means, right? You're spending more than you make. Same thing in your body, right? Like, You're by spending, you are making these discretionary decisions with alcohol, with sugar, with fast food. You need to audit that and take a look, because you'll very quickly, when you audit the facts, you will start to realize that the lens you're looking through is a false lens. You do not have control, right? Like, and that's where I was. That's why I was like, man, holy mackerel, I'm justifying these things. I have reasons. I am, what's the word that we were using? I'm entitled to these.
Right.
I was so good.
I deserve it. Yes.
I'm working out twice a day. I've been on this journey for 21 years, da-da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, I was not happy how I felt physically in my clothing and just physically energy-wise. So I needed to do something to regain control, and that's what it was all about. So abstinence, right, can work. Abstinence definitely can work, but I think having a strategy behind the abstinence, because if it becomes pure deprivation all the time, the cravings will be up. If it's discipline over deprivation and you have a plan and you have a strategy, right? Because I knew that if I went cold turkey on my sugar, it wasn't going to work. It was going to be deprivation. So I chose to say, you know what? I'll have it once a week, but I'm going to track it and I'm going to plan it.
And there's an interesting conversation there with the pros and the cons of giving something up cold turkey and fasting. Both have amazing pros. Both also have the cons. One of them Chuck just talked about, the deprivation. You want to make sure that it is more discipline than deprivation. Now, if you're fasting from something, and this is what I've seen over time, when you fast from something, there's always this end date, whether you're doing the whole 30, maybe you're fasting from something through Lent. But what I see happen is people will stockpile, or they will, at the end of the fast or at the end of Lent, they go crazy. Whatever it was they gave up, like if it was alcohol, I've seen people on day 31 drink to the point of getting drunk because it really wasn't a lifestyle long-term plan. And so fasting from it only to go, it's great in the moment, but it's done nothing to enhance your life. So when you're going to fast from something, I would suggest fasting from it in a way where you're trying to gain back control of it. If at the end of 30 days, you still feel like you don't have control, maybe you have to extend that fast for another 2 weeks or another 30 days. I know people who fast from something whether maybe it'll be sugar or sweets, but then they'll save them. They'll put them in their freezer for another time. And then at the end of when the fasting ends, all of a sudden it's like a treat every single day, which brings them right back to their addictions. So there's pros and cons to both. You have to decide how deeply integrated you are to that addiction, to that habit. If it has control over you, it might take you a little longer before you gain control. I've got lots of good comments here. Carrie, excuses. I remember when I started in November, someone posted, it never gets easier. You just get stronger. And she never looked back. And that statement is as true as they come. It doesn't get easier. You get stronger. You get stronger every single day that you say no to something or that you say yes to something healthier. You are building those willpower muscles. Rachel, if I decided last March to do lifestyle changes, and since then I've lost 53 pounds. Yeah. Congratulations, Rachel. That is fantastic. What an accomplishment. I was not in control over eating food. I ate whatever I wanted. And I think a lot of us have been there. Lori, kudos to you all. Kudos to us all. My huge realization was figuring out I have an addictive personality. So this is an everyday struggle, but every day I continue to work on me. And I think that a lot of us in one area or another, I read a very interesting article in regards to this. It was very sciencey and nerdy. I could not repeat it, but it takes us back to centuries ago and our reptilian brain and how we have that little box of addictiveness, but it could be, we don't all have the same addictions, but we do have that little box in there that tells us how good that one thing makes us feel. Lisa, I think I started BBF in 2017. I was doing everything possible to get healthy, except I still drank. It was a nagging thing in the back of my mind that I needed to quit. And I will bet you if there is something that sits there every time that you do it and says, oh, maybe I shouldn't do it, that's the one thing that you should maybe focus on for the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, a year. That's probably the one thing that is holding you back from achieving the thing you say you want the most. But you have to listen to that little voice and you have to decide how you want to take it on. Is it cold turkey and forever, or is it fasting until you have control? And who knows how long that's going to take. All right, my friends, that's where I'm going to end it today. We could go on and on forever. I want you to throw the people out here who have opened up themselves, who have put it out there, what they have accomplished. Throw them a little love. We are in this together. Nobody is on an island by themselves unless they choose to be. We are in this together. We are going to get through this together. And there's nothing like the support of people going through something themselves. All right, my friends, I love you all. Join Coach Chuck and I tomorrow live at 7 a.m. Join Coach Chuck at noon for the Nugget. And of course, Saturday at 7:30, our Weekend Warrior and Coach Jackie's going to be back in the house. You don't want to miss it. We have our Twin Towers workout. All right, my friends, I love you all. Go out and have a great day. Lisa, I'm so proud of you. Congratulations on 3 years today, my friends. Love you all.